Connecting with you, I'm excited to do this. I'm offering a practice that's helped me cope during tough times, especially the past decade. And this meditation is adapted from various ones from my teachers in the internal family systems therapy and mindful self-compassion communities. And I'm ever grateful to them, my teachers, for their mentorship and wisdom. And my hope is to help you connect with your own fascinating, hardworking internal system of thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations. We call them parts. And these are the responses such as overwhelm right now, whatever's taking your energy, keeping you up at night, and unbalancing you. I feel those responses too. And I just want to gently remind you that there's no right or wrong here. Your only task is just to notice what's happening inside of you with curiosity and kindness, if you're able. And if you can't, just notice that too. All of your responses are welcome. All of your reactions are welcome. And you'll gradually learn that your responses are just trying to help you in some way. All of our parts have a positive intent for us, whether we understand that yet or not. And that's the work to discover how our reactions protect us. So we're going to ask your critical voices if they just give us 20 minutes or so to let you connect with your internal world from a place of curiosity and open-heartedness. And I'll sound the Tibetan bowl 3 times at the beginning. You'll hear this just to help you transition into this space. And then again, 3 times at the end to help you transition back out. Okay, so just settling in to wherever you are, sitting or laying down. Allowing your body to drop into the chair or the floor, whatever's supporting you. Just feeling that beneath you, grounding you. And we'll just start with a nice full exhale. Just blowing all that air out, emptying your lungs. Holding that for a count or 2 before you breathe back in. And holding that for a count or 2 before you exhale again. We're just trying to slow things down a little bit. So let's try that for a few rounds. Releasing your energy and your breath into the earth below or into the air outside. And you might roll your shoulders back a bit to make a little more space in your heart and in your lungs. And just notice where your hands would like to rest. And if your eyes would like to be open or closed, or just gazing softly in front of you. Just tuning into the sounds and the energy of the space you're in. And letting these sounds and energy welcome you into the present moment. And if your mind is wandering and distracting, not to worry, that's just fine. That's what minds do. Just notice that. Welcome it, and gently bring your attention back to my voice, back to your body and your breath. And tuning into your breath, asking yourself, how do I know that I'm breathing? Just finding where you notice it. And if you like, place a hand on wherever that is, helping you connect with it, the source of your breath. as you welcome it. Acknowledging that your breath has been with you your entire life. A steady anchor and companion, always present. Perhaps extending some appreciation towards your breath, thanking it for how constantly and quietly it works for you. Breathing in, breathing out. Nothing to do but notice, with some curiosity and gentleness if you're able. And now I'll invite you to focus on a reaction or a response that our current events are stirring up in you. And on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being most intense and overwhelming, pick an emotion or a thought, an impulse or a physical sensation, what we call parts. Pick one that's maybe a 4 or a 5. Don't pick your hardest one for today. Just choose one that's getting in your way, or that you want to understand a little better, or get a little relief from. And if you're having trouble choosing one, you might just ask inside, who needs my attention right now? And let that response or that part volunteer itself for this exercise. So I'm just going to walk you through a few steps of helping you connect with one of these responses, these reactions, or this part that's overwhelming you or kind of taking you out, especially in the last week or so. And I'll pose some questions, but don't try to think the answer. Just let that response show itself to you. You're just trying to listen with curiosity and openness. So focus on that part, that sensation, the thought, feeling, response. Find it in or around your body. Just notice where it shows up. How do you know that it's there? How do you experience it? How do you physically experience this response, this part? And just check and see how far from you is this part. If it's overwhelming you and if it's too close, if you don't have any breathing room from it, just ask it if it would relax just a little bit or give you some breathing room so that you can get to know it and help it. This is a good time just to take some breaths, just extend some breath to that part, see if it could give you a little space. Just noticing how big is it? How far from you is it? Is there an image of it or a color, a shape, a texture? Is there a sensation, or does it make a sound or say something to you? Just acknowledging it, just welcoming it as a part of you. You might also check and see if this part is aware of you. Does it know that you're here with it? And just check and see how you're feeling towards this part, this response, this reaction. And if you're noticing anything besides openness or curiosity, it means there are probably some other parts blended and getting in the way, which is okay. That's pretty normal. But you might just ask them if there are any parts, maybe some dislike or impatience or skepticism. Just see if they'd be willing to separate a little bit. Maybe they could just watch so you can get to know this target reaction response and try to help it. And I'll give you just a minute or so just to see if you can get a clear pathway to this emotion you're trying to help, to interact with it with some curiosity and openness. And if some of those protecting parts won't relax, that's okay. You can just shift your attention to them and maybe hear their concerns, what they're concerned about if they stepped aside or gave you some space. So as you focus on whichever part is letting you access it from a place of curiosity, just see, you might just ask this part, what it wants you to know about itself. Just let it show you what it's feeling, what it's stirred up about, what it's trying to help you with. Just let this part show itself to you. This isn't going to come from it's not going to come from your head. Just trying to understand, how is this response trying to help you? What's its role for you? What's its purpose? You might ask it if it feels appreciated for its efforts, for working so hard to take care of you in whatever way it is. You might ask this part, how long has it been doing this job? Did it just show up in the past week or two, or has it been here for a long time? And just ask it what it's concerned would happen if it relaxed a little bit, if it didn't work so hard on your behalf. You just want to try to understand better, what is it protecting you from? And just extend, if you can, some appreciation, some kindness towards this response, for showing up and letting you get to know it a little bit, for separating from you if it felt like it did that just a little bit. You might just ask it before we wrap this part up and I give you some time to write. Just ask it if you could heal or change what it's trying to protect, if its job weren't so vital for you. What would it rather do inside of you? We're not trying to get rid of it, but we're giving it an option. Once it trusted you'd be okay, it could find something else to do that might be more enjoyable. So we're just asking if you could heal or change what it's trying to protect, that its job wasn't so necessary, what would it rather do inside of you? And the last question we'll ask it, just ask this part how old it thinks you are. How old do you think I am? Just wait for an answer. And if you get an age that's not accurate, maybe somewhat younger or quite a bit younger, may not, but if the age isn't accurate, just update this part and let it know how old you are and where you are in life, because it may not know that. So before we stop, if you could just thank this part and other parts for whatever they showed you, thank them for showing up, just making themselves known, and just let them know you're learning how to be their caretaker, and that you'll, I hope, to check back in with them to continue to get to know them. So in time, they'll trust you to lead, so they don't have to do all the work trying to take care of you. You get to take care of them, not the other way around. So I'll ring the bowl again, and as you work your way back, can finish up whatever you want to share, exchange with this part as you come on back, and then I'm going to give you 5 minutes or so just to jot down any reflections, any discoveries, surprises, or even any parts that you identified and acknowledged that you don't want to forget about. So this is just some time for you, and probably around 12:40, 40-ish, I'll bring you back, okay? Okay, group, so you can give you a minute or so, just finish up your thoughts and reflections. And hopefully you identified one or more parts that you'd like to get to know a little better and just try to be with when they get stirred up, especially during this challenging time. I'd just like to have a couple words just to close, and then I'm going to leave you with a song that a friend sent to me. He's playing the drums. It's called We Are Loved. I'm not even sure who it's by. I couldn't get it to sync with Bluetooth, so I'm playing it from my phone. I'm embracing that we're not going for perfection. We're just trying to share the love. So, okay, so in closing, I just want to offer you, may you find peace. May you know you are loved. Sorry, I had your I couldn't see all of you. Now I can, and now I'm getting emotional. So, okay, may you know you're loved. May you find courage and compassion. And sorry, may you find the teachers and the wisdom you need in the days to come. Keep on keeping on, and I'll be here next Wednesday. Thanks for being here. And here's the song, We Are Loved. Be well.
Embrace, touch, soothe, and counsel. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love.
Okay, thanks everybody. It's great to see you. Keep on keeping on. Okay, take care.